Well, imagine being able to test your livestock or crops for a range of diseases and receive almost immediate results without ever leaving your property. That could be the reality in 3 years' time, with a Brisbane-based biotechnology company fine-tuning the world's first on-farm disease detection platform. Xing Technologies is currently trialling the technology on dairy cows with a focus on detecting mastitis. But as CEO Tom Esplin explained, the applications are much wider.
We've developed what we call pretty well a universal platform, which is about the size of a laptop computer, a little bit higher, and a cartridge which will eventually be about the same, about half the size of an iPhone. So that'll be a one-use cartridge which goes into the reader, and before you put the cartridge in the reader, you take a sample, and it could be a sample of blood, urine, milk, plant juices or fecal matter on farm, inject it into the reader and press the button, and 15 minutes later you will have a result if there's a pathogen present that you're looking for. So our first application that we're working on in conjunction with the University of Queensland with their School of Veterinary Sciences is a mastitis cartridge. So we'll be looking for mastitis-causing pathogens in dairy milk on farm at the Gatton University, their campus there, where they've got a dairy farm. But we'll also be taking that testing further right from the subtropical down to Victoria, down to Tasmania, and testing the cartridge in cattle and with the practices that are evident right throughout Australia.
Could this be used? You mentioned mastitis is the first disease that you're testing for. What other pathogens could it pick up? Can it detect all forms of disease, bacterial, fungal, perhaps gut issues?
Yes. Any wherever DNA is present, it works. So it just depends on the level of sensitivity that you need. But wherever pathogens are present in reasonable quantities to cause disease, our system can be adapted, or the cartridge can be adapted for that particular disease. We're looking at a range of diseases with AML, for example, bovine respiratory disease. But it also can apply to plant material. So where there's diseases in plants, or pathogens present, such as listeria on lettuces and so on, our platform will be able to be adapted.
How available, though, would it be in terms of both practicality? You mentioned it is a good size, but what about the cost?
So we're hoping to have cartridges out on the market, within a 3-year period, in the final form, and we're estimating that the sell cost will be probably somewhere around about the $20 mark to the farmer.
And you'd need a separate cartridge for each animal and different cartridges for different diseases that you're looking for as well?
Yes, we'll produce a different cartridge for different diseases. So it is a single-use cartridge. Where cost is a factor on a dairy farm, for example, farmers may have to may employ a pooling process. So they could potentially test 10 cows, in one $20 sample. So currently, if farmers want to actually get some laboratory testing done, normally they send it off farm, and it can take a couple of days for a Bacto lab to come back with a result. So ours will give a very specific result. It'll test for 5 of the key pathogens and come back with the pathogen that is causing the mastitis and enable the correct antibiotic to be used, or that the cow just needs to be rested and taken rested for a while without antibiotic use. We want to help in the reduction of antibiotics and the problems that antimicrobial resistance is causing, and to enable higher productivity activity amongst those dairy farmers so that quick detection of cows with mastitis, quick separation, the appropriate treatment, and keeping production as high as possible.
Tom Esplin from Xing Technologies. And once they have the livestock device ready, the company will take it to the Therapeutic Goods Administration and the Food and Drug Administration in the US for the human market, with a focus on diagnostic tests for cancer and infectious diseases. Watch this space.